So recently, Foxwell sent out a unit for me to try out and test. The agreement was I would run this thing through its paces, kind of get an idea for what kind of features and things this thing had to offer. And then in exchange, I'd make a video showing you guys what this unit actually does, and you can make a decision as to whether this might be the right unit for you or not. So this unit is the NT809BT. This is a Bluetooth model, meaning it doesn't have a wired connection to the OBD2 port. There's some pros and cons to that, just depending on what you think might work best for you. So what I've found with these units and several other units that I've used over time is the corded units are extremely nice because you don't have to worry about a battery for the dongle that plugs in to keep that thing charged. So if you come out to the vehicle, you know as long as this unit here has charge or batteries in it, you're good to go. The con to those wired units though is if you want to take this thing around the shop, or if you're up by the hood trying to diagnose maybe a noise or something like that, sometimes those cords aren't quite long enough and they become kind of a hindrance as to where the unit can actually reach to. So I actually prefer these units that have the wireless built into them, but maybe your opinion differs. Now let's go ahead and dive into this actual unit here. So this is the display screen that you get with the Foxwell unit, and then the dongle is already plugged into my OBD2 port, ready to go. Both of these units charge with a USB-C port, which is on the unit here on the top, as well as there's one on the dongle as well to be able to charge it. This does also have a USB-A up here at the top. So what that USB port is going to be good for is if you've got like an oscilloscope that you want to plug in, or maybe a video scope, something of that nature, you're able to plug that into this device as well. And you'll see on the screen here even that there's a video scope option on here. Now to start off with, when you first get this thing out of the case, at least in my situation, this thing was completely dead. So I had to go ahead and get it charged up first. The next thing you're going to have to do is go ahead and actually register an account with Foxwell if you don't already have one, and that'll enable you to get into this unit. You'll actually have this thing registered with a serial number, which will be warranties, things of that nature. Your firmware updates will all be through your account from there on out. Now the next thing I did after I got the account set up was there is a firmware and update option on here. You can make sure you've got all the appropriate firmwares. Now when I went in to update on this unit, and it's actually telling me I've got 17 new updates. But when I first updated this thing a few days ago, I had 165 updates I had to do on this thing. And that's going to go basically through vehicle by vehicle. Make sure you have the most up-to-date firmware for this unit. The other nice thing about something like this as well is nowadays they've got Wi-Fi built into them as well. When these units first started coming out years ago, you had to go in and actually plug them into a computer, do your updates, then bring them out to the vehicle. Now, as long as you've got Wi-Fi nearby, you can actually do these updates from the vehicle sitting in the seat. I thought that was kind of cool. Now going through a few more of these options as well, you've got your diagnostic button. That's where we're going to spend the most time today, but I want to go ahead and go through the rest of these options as well. So on his screen here, I've got maintenance, data manager, my account, settings, your update button, which we've already talked about. You've got a remote control option, so you could actually dial into this unit. That's not something I've tried just yet, but I think that's a pretty cool feature, especially if you're trying to do something remotely and you're in a different location. As well as the video scope, some auxiliary tools, a coverage list, and then you've also got a shop manager in here, which is going to be somewhere where, like, as you go through vehicles, it'll actually have the capability of being able to go through and remember those vehicles. And that's something else I just learned actually reading through the manual. We'll go through as well. There's a spot where you could compare your vehicle history to if it comes into the shop again for like a month or two later. You could compare that data to the data from the last time you plugged into that vehicle. Pretty cool. Now let's go ahead and go into the diagnostic. Let's see if we can give you an idea of how this part works here. So as you can see on our screen here, and I'll try to make sure there's not a lot of glare, but you'll see all the different options. So you can go in and actually select your vehicle based on the country it's made. So I've got America, Asia, Europe, China, so forth. Obviously, most of us are probably going to be America, but if you've got those one-off vehicles that you're trying to diagnose, it's probably built into this unit as well. But the other nice thing about this is, at the same time, is at the top here, there's a VIN option. You can actually do an automatic read on your vehicle, which is what we're going to do now. So it's scanning my vehicle, going to get the VIN, it's going to grab my vehicle information. So after it grabs the VIN, it's going to ask you another couple more questions based on your vehicle and maybe some of the options that your vehicle is equipped with. So we're going to go to Chevy. My particular vehicle I'm sitting in right now is my wife's 2020 Chevy Tahoe. So we've got that pulled up on the screen. I'll hit yes. And now you have two options here that you can go through and pick from. So you're going to have a quick scan. Now what that's going to do is it's going to be able to scan every module in this vehicle. Now the newer the vehicle, typically the more the modules. So if you do a quick scan on a newer vehicle, there's a good chance you're going to have 20 to 30 modules in that vehicle that it's going to go through and scan. So keep in mind, that's going to take some time to get through and actually check all those different modules. A different way you could do that though is if you know you have a code in like your BCM or your ECM, you could go into control modules, which is a second option on the screen, and you could select just that module. So if I go to my engine control module, it'll load that up. and then it'll show me on the screen the list of options that I've got within that module. And to do this, I think I'm gonna have to actually start the vehicle. So let me go ahead and get that now. Now that's not going to be like that for every vehicle, but with this vehicle being a push to start, I don't know if there's a different option I can do to where it's just on ignition on cycle, but I do know if I hit the button, it continues to beep. For the sake of this video, I think it's going to be better just to have the vehicle running. Now, I'll hit the engine control module once again. On the screen here, you'll see a list of different options you can pick from. So I've got DTC codes I can go through and read. You can pull information, your data display, control functions, you name it, it's pretty much on here. And depending on the module will be how many options are actually available in that screen when you're in it. So I'll go ahead and hit DTC, and then it's gonna say, do you wanna see freeze frame, diagnostic test, sense clear? There's several different options you could pick from. So I'm gonna go with the DTC display. Says no fault found, system pass. So my ECM has no codes right now. Now something else you can do too, let me go back a screen and we can go to control functions. Now this unit is also a bidirectional scanner. That's really cool because if you're trying to diagnose whether a sensor is bad or maybe a switch is bad, you could kind of go through and control those from this unit, and the module will turn on that particular sensor or fan, something of that nature. And it'll give you a little bit better idea whether you're dealing with a sensor issue or maybe you've got a wiper control that's bad. So I'm gonna go in and just for sake of example real quick, I know the cooling fan I can operate from this unit. So I'm gonna go into the cooling fan command and then hit OK. And now I can see on the screen, it's showing me my cooling fan command. It's saying it's 10%. I can knock that up to 90% now. So I'll do that real quick. It's gonna take a second for it to load up, and then you should hear the fan ramp up in just a second here. And there it is, the cooling fan is now up to 90%. So let me go ahead and knock that back down again. So now I know that cooling fan is working. I can ramp it up from the module. So if we're having an issue where the cooling fan is not turning on, you know you need to check somewhere else and see if there's another issue within the vehicle. Now something else I was looking at when I was reading my manual here, and this little manual is actually pretty handy, especially if you're not someone that has a lot of experience with these type of units. The chances are, if you're working in a small shop or you're a mechanic, you've probably got a little bit more experience. It's gonna be easier for you to navigate. But if you're just a DIY person and you're just trying to see what's wrong with your vehicle before you either take it to a shop, or you're just trying to see maybe if it's something you can fix yourself to save a little bit of money, this little manual here probably help you out quite a bit. And as I was thumbing through this manual here, there's all kinds of things in here I noticed that this thing's capable of doing, such as live data, but there's actually a compare data in here as well. So if you've got a sensor value, like a O2 sensor or something like that, and you're not sure if the reading you're looking at is actually a good reading, you can go into this unit and actually compare the values to the sensor from what you're reading versus what it's supposed to read. And that should give you a good indicator whether you have a good value that you're looking at and whether maybe that sensor's bad as well. That's a really cool feature, and I don't think I've got another unit that does that, to be honest, of all the ones that I've tested in the past. Now back to that bidirectional thing that we were talking about. So another thing you can do, not just cooling fans, but I wanted to see if we could do another one. So let's see if I can go into my body control module now and see if we could pick another value. Now it's asking me if I've got a power lift gate on this vehicle. I do, so I selected that option. And then I'll go into control functions and see if there's something in here I can do. I know like wipers and window switches, things like that, you could actually go into as well. Now playing with this unit, I did notice there were a few things I wanted to try to control, and it was telling me it could not communicate with the unit for some reason. I don't know why that is. So that's something I'm gonna reach out to Foxwell and see if I can get an answer for. But on this video, I don't currently have an answer for that at this moment. So I'll see if I can do an update on that later on once I get a little better handle on that. Another feature we can look at here as well is maybe like your blower motor inside the vehicle. So I went into my body control module and I found where it says blower motor speed, and right now it's showing 28%. So I'm gonna see if I can actually change this from the dash. So I'm selecting on the control panel here in my vehicle, and as I scroll the fan up, it's actually showing the value increase on my unit here real time. Now something else I can do as well is I can go in here and I can just select on, and that's gonna send it up to 50%. And my fan speed has gone up in the vehicle. Another handy way to be able to test something, it's not going to be just limited to things inside the engine. You can actually do a lot of the modules and different features inside the vehicle as well. Let me go ahead and turn that off, and that blower speed went back to the normal state. So really cool unit. There's a lot of cool functions on this thing that you can do. It's not just going to be for you to be able to clear and check codes to see what's going on with the vehicle. A little bit of knowledge will take you a long way with this unit as to what you can diagnose. Really the only limitation to this thing is going to be what you actually are capable of with the knowledge you have. But the nice thing about this is you can actually go in here, select and see values. If you're a little bit confused, you can go online and see if you can find the answer on there as well. And maybe that'll give you a little bit more insight as to what you have going on. This thing's got a really attractive price point. I feel like it's got a lot of capable features built into it that you can use. It's just one more tool in your arsenal that you can keep at your house or in your shop. Now, one other feature I want to talk about real quick before we end this video is the fact that if you have something that you replace, like a sensor, and it requires like a calibration or an initialization process, this unit's going to be able to actually do that for you as well. So you could go into whatever control module it is after you replace that said sensor. You can go in, do the initialization. If it needs to reset the value to 0, open, closed, whatever the case might be, this unit's going to be able to do that for you as well. So overall, I think Foxwell's got a pretty good unit here. I've just kind of barely scratched the surface as to what this thing's capable of doing. Hopefully that gives you enough information that you can go through and maybe make a decision as to whether this might be the right investment for you or not. Other than that, that's all I've got for you on this one though. I appreciate you guys taking the time to watch, and we'll catch you guys on the next one.